Hey, this is Jason on behalf of the training division, and let's take a moment to look at how we're going to do National Registry recertification. If we're just interested in the Target Solutions portion, there'll be a link in the description that'll take you right to that so you can skip the National Registry explanation. So let's look at what National Registry requires for us to renew. On the website, all the information is available underneath of the recertification tab. They have an entire guide, which is quite lengthy, explaining the entire process for recertification for all levels when it comes to the National Registry. They've broken it down into 3 different components, totaling 40 hours. So with that 40 hours, we have for the EMT, 20 of that applying to the national content, and we'll go over that shortly. State content or local content is anything that's been approved by a state agency such as MIMS. So any protocol update, any sort of class we've taken inside their licensure center, or anything that EMS has applied for and gotten approved through the state licensure system. If that hasn't been done, the class cannot count towards that local content. And finally, we have individual content, and in the individual content can be anything that we've done as far as an EMS or fire related course. So if we've taken a MIFRE course such as hazmat operations, hazmat awareness, Ps, Fire 1, or our annual OSHA training, all of that applies to the individual content. So what's the national component? And the national component is a set of topics that National Registry wants covered in order to recertify. They have limits on the amount of time that can be spent outside of the classroom. Now, outside of COVID, these were strictly adhered to. However, with COVID, they realized that we weren't able to always be in person, so they kind of lifted what they've referred to as distributive education requirements. Now, distributive education is anything that is not performed in the classroom. So all of our online content is distributive education. So the maximum allowable hours for distributive education for the national component and our state component is 7 hours each. So we have to be able to be in class for the remainder of those 16 hours. So let's look at the national component. So the national component for the EMT is everything listed here under this blue column. Now, Anne Arundel County, we have 2 options. So we'll go over that a little bit later when we look at our target solutions and how it's set up to accommodate both the career and the volunteer members. So the national component wants us to cover things like airway ventilation and oxygenation, cardiology, trauma, medical, and then EMS operations. So luckily enough, MIMS has allowed or has an agreement with National Registry that says that the 24-hour Maryland State refresher will complete the entirety of this national component, as well as add 4 hours to the state component. So if we do a 24-hour refresher, we're covered underneath this national component. Now, if we choose not to do that and do a more Anne Arundel County approach to this, all of the classes have to meet the national component for the EMT recertification. Now, how did Anne Arundel County accomplish this? Well, let's take a look. So we're going to log into our Target Solutions. Once we log into Target Solutions, we're going to look for our National Registry EMT, EMTB. Now, this is set up for both volunteer and career members. So there was no separation. Everybody's under one umbrella. So with all our credentials, we can see our current number. Mind you, mine is a medic number. The hours we need for recertification, and our issue and expiration dates. With Target Solutions, anything that has been performed outside of the dates that are listed here, so anything before April 1st, 2020, or anything after March 31st, 2022, will not apply to the credential. So none of the courses that are listed here were completed within that time frame. So we can see that there are 3 components broken down just like the recertification model. 20 hours for national, 10 for state, and 10 for individual. All of our OSHA training that we do every year has been put inside of the individual component. Now, if there's something that you did and you want it added, just send me an email at FDBLS and I'll look at how to apply it and make sure it's good to go. When it comes to our national component, now if you paid attention to the beginning portion of this and you went through and looked at how National Registry requires us to meet certain content, that's great. If you didn't, MIMS has an agreement with National Registry that says that the state 24-hour refresher, so if we go to MIFRE and do 12 hours of skills and then 12 hours of MIFRE online content, or if we take a 24-hour MIFRE refresher, it will complete the entirety of the national component as well as apply 4 hours to our state component. So if we don't do that, there are a list of topics here that meet the National Registry requirements for what they consider to be the national component, the stuff they want covered every 2 years. As we put in these courses, so example, if I took the 24-hour refresher, I can see here that it's the MIFRE EMS 203 course, and it's going to qualify for 20 hours or the entirety of my national component. I could simply click on this, input the information, submit my transcript, and either the training officer at my station or EMS training can approve this. It will say awaiting verification on the area down here below. If it is pending verification, just reach out, let somebody know, we'll approve it, and then this 20 hours will be completed. Our career members, we've had to adjust slightly so that way the content that we cover yearly can apply to this equally as well. So anytime that we've completed a course, it will appear here, grayed out, showing our completion date. With the state/local content, anything that we've completed with a state code. So we can see that there are state codes here. CAPSI, the commission that approves all of a national style of continuing education, have their own numbers here. And anything that Anne Arundel County has applied for and gotten state approval has a course code associated with it. So if we've taken these MIMS classes, we're required to upload a completion certificate to the assignment when we submit it. And this will show up on our transcript when we go to upload it to National Registry to do our recertification. So we complete all the courses that are listed. Again, if you have something that applies that you want to put in here but isn't listed, please just let me know. I'll look at it, make sure it's okay, and then we'll put it in. Once our credential is 100% complete, we've met all the requirements for National Registry to be happy in case we get audited, as well as what Anne Arundel County will want for us to continue being affiliated underneath of them as far as the National Registry EMT certification goes. So go ahead and get a copy of your transcript. Mind you, mine's going to be incomplete. Hit save as PDF. This will save it to your computer, and this is what you're going to upload to National Registry with the National Registry recertification video that I've made. So just like I talked about, any of those courses that have a completion certificate, when we upload it, I can go here and see my completion of my EMT vaccinator training. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. We're always here to give a hand, and I hope you have a wonderful day.